Hey, how's it going, everybody? Good morning and welcome back to the channel. We're just getting started here, and just two topics I'm going to be discussing in today's live stream. Um, One, basically going the future of Mobile X. What can we expect with Mobile X? And I'll get more into that as we kick that topic around. The other thing is NTN, which I was asked by Ricky in a previous mobile live stream I did, how I felt about it, and so I'm gonna kind of like weigh in my thoughts about NTN, 5G, which is a non-terrestrial network, which is in fact satellite connectivity, and we're gonna get all into that in today's episode. As you're coming in, if you guys could do me a solid, smash the like button. I would really appreciate that. If it's your first time checking out my channel, whether here or on Twitch, drop a subscribe. I would really appreciate that, and turn on bell notifications so you guys are aware when I go live and when I upload a video. Aside from that, if you guys would like to try out Helium Mobile, you guys could do so. Right there below me is the QR code to get you guys started with a sign up, basically signing up for Helium Mobile and using my promo code that gets you your first month free to try them out. So definitely give that a shot. Anyways, the QR code will remain in the upper left corner. You'll see it up there. It says 1 month free. Scan that QR code. That'll get you guys your first month free on Helium Mobile. Yeah, so I've been dropping quite a bit of videos, mostly. I understand that, and it's all about just creating more video content and shorts and stuff like that to get that put out there. So anyways, welcome in. Glad to have you guys here. So we'll start off with the first topic at hand, which is Mobile X. If you guys don't know what Mobile X is, don't worry. They're an MVNO that uses Verizon's network, and the services actually have been pretty good. All right, so you can see that currently right now they're still running their promotion, right? So plans, from just $3.48 a month. That's if you go flexible with Mobile X. If you go flexible, you're looking at the lowest being this, which is pretty much like just the service. I don't even think data is included in that. You obviously have to buy your data. $2.10 for 2 gigabytes of data currently right now. Originally, it was $2.10 for 1 gigabyte of data, but they're doing their mobile data match with their personalized access plan. And then, of course, till the end of this month, you can do basically unlimited 10 for $14.88 a month. That's 10 gigs of data. And then you are slowed down for the rest of your bill cycle. Nationwide 5G, unlimited talk and text, and it gets 10 gigabytes of hotspot on the 10 gigabyte high-speed data plan. If you go for the $24.88 plan, that one is fully unlimited at this time. I do know, I will show you guys. It's pretty cool when you look at the Mobile X app. So I'll switch this to this real quick. There, so you guys can see Mobile X unlimited. So there's no data calculations going on because it is fully unlimited at this point. Pretty good coverage, I would say. Unlimited talk and text to 90 plus countries, including Mexico and Canada, offered with their unlimited plan. Now, as it says right here, basically, this promotion runs until December 31st, 2024. So if you sign up on December 30th, then for that whole month, you'll have unlimited data services with Mobile X. Now, the question that everyone is asking, because we're coming close to that deadline, is what is the future of Mobile X? Is it going back to its original unlimited 5 gigabyte plan at $15 a month and unlimited 30 plan at $25 a month? Are we going back to that? Which has a lot of people worried, because this promotion has been going on for a couple of months. It's been going on since October of this year. And so there are people who have signed up with Mobile X because they have a fully unlimited service plan. And they've been enjoying the services, they've been enjoying the connectivity, it's been great, but now they know that this is their last month with it. According to the website, this is the last month to have it. And so what does the future hold? Like, what is MobileX going to do? And this is going to be one of those things where, you know, if they revert back, and I'm just being honest, if they revert back to the old plan setup, they could initially be looking at a very interesting shift in momentum. Shout out to my friends at Expert Care with MobileX. I've been put on in the knowledge that once they launched this promotion in October, they had a boatload of activations. They've had a lot of number port-ins. They've had a lot of new number signups, and so it created a high spike of subscriber count on MobileX, which is a good thing, right? I'm sure that the folks at MobileX were superly excited that they had all these people just kind of switching over to them. You had people that switched over from Boost Mobile to them. You had people that switched over from Metro. You had people that switched over, from Visible, from US Mobile. You had a lot of gains with MobileX when these promotional plans were introduced. And yes, some of the people that joined over started off with the unlimited plan, shifted to the personalized access because they learned that they're gonna have more savings when they're not using a whole lot of data, right? If you're a person who literally uses only like 2 gigabytes of mobile data, MobileX is perfect for you in having a phone service that is going to be affordable. Like, one less thing you have to worry about paying a high amount of money for. And for those people that are absolute, huge data users, the unlimited plan works out great for them. Now, to answer a question that some have asked about MobileX, where they're like, it's supposed to be unlimited, so why are they saying that people who abuse the networks will get cut off? And you have to look at it like this. MobileX is phone service, and that's the key word there, phone service first. It does not say that they are a data service provider. If MobileX had positioned themselves as a data service provider, then it would make sense that you can put the SIM card in, a Wi-Fi gateway and run all your IoTs in your house or your apartment off the data from MobileX. Now, yes, you can create a data-only SIM card with MobileX by going with the personalized access plan and just specifically choosing data only, because some people don't even make phone calls at all or do regular text messaging. Like, they may use like Facebook Messenger as their way of connecting with family and friends, or Telegram or WhatsApp or any of these other, Google Voice. They may be using that, and so they're not really keen on just having cellular and data. So that's why on the personalized access plan, you can choose data only and no voice or text, and just have strictly data only and pay for the data only. And then you'll be paying $2.10 per gigabyte of data plus the network access fee, which is $1.98. And so that will be your bill every month, however much data that you add, which is cool, because if you use more data than you plan to, you can always just add on more data. You can buy more data as you go throughout the month. And if you say you set yourself a limitation to start off in the month with like 5 gigs of data and you only use 3, well, then you get a credit back for the 2 gigs that you didn't use. So that makes your bill cheaper. So that's, they have their quirky methods and everything like that. But going back to the main part is that they're not a data service provider. They're a mobile phone service provider. So the services that you get is intentionally for mobile smartphones, maybe a tablet, but it is not to use as home internet, which, this has been like a long argument for years when it comes down to mobile phone service providers, because people have this ideology that, it's your data, it's unlimited, you pay for it, so you should be able to run it inside of a internet Wi-Fi gateway and run your smart TV and computer and laptops and gaming consoles off of it. And it's not meant for that. Okay, that's why they have internet service providers. That's why T-Mobile has the T-Mobile home internet and Verizon has the Verizon home internet, because those lines are specifically set up to be what people want out of their mobile phone service. Your phone line is not meant to be your home internet service to run your IoTs on. So that's what they mean by network abuse, is that if you're doing that and you're consistently eating up, up to a terabyte of data, MobileX has the right to just cancel your service because you're not fit for them. If you're using it in your smartphone and you're browsing the internet and you're mobile gaming off your smartphone and that type of stuff, you should be fine. Statistically, the average person who does gaming on their smartphone, live streaming on their smartphone, social media consistently throughout the day, and watching content on their smartphones usually can end up using about 80 to maybe 100 gigs of data a month. Okay, now if you're running your device as like a Wi-Fi hotspot router data connection for your IoTs, statistically you should be running around 3, 4, up to 500 gigs of data. And that's how they'll know the difference between is the data usage, the amount of data usage, and how that's being played off. But anyways, regardless of that, the fear is set in, and now I'm personally directing to Peter Adderton himself whether he watches this live stream or not. You have customers that are afraid now of what's going to happen with the $24.88 monthly unlimited plan. A lot of them would love for MobileX to keep the plan the way that it is now and make that permanently what the unlimited plan is. I know that MobileX's whole entire mission is to show people that you can save money by going with the personalized access plan and really seeing how much data you use in the 30-day span and custom fitting a plan based upon that for services and paying a low monthly phone bill. And for those who are afraid about the unlimited plan reverting back to 30 gigs of high-speed data only, MobileX wouldn't be abandoning their position on the personalized access plan if they kept the unlimited plan fully unlimited. It wouldn't be abandoning it because you're catering to two different markets, right? Which the whole point of MobileX is to grow and gain subscribers. So if you're already catering to those people who don't use a lot of data so they can, have a very low bill monthly, then you're hitting your targets. You're bringing them on over. I know people that live around me that had consumer cellular because they don't use a whole lot of data. And when I talk to them about MobileX, as I'm walking my dog down the street, I come across them, I conversate with people, trying to be friendly. When I let them know about MobileX and the personalized access plan and I show them how it works and everything like that, they end up going and switching from consumer cellular to MobileX, and yes, there are elderly people in my neighborhood that I talk to on a daily basis when I take my dog for a walk. So, I just try to do my part in helping them find phone service that is affordable for them because most of them are living on fixed income, right? They're retired. They're getting like maybe, $2,500 a month for their retirement, maybe $3,000. And they got like, a mortgage bill to pay. They got electricity to pay, food, gas for their vehicle, so them getting a lower phone bill because they don't use a lot of data and they have Wi-Fi in their house, they save money. They have a phone service to make phone calls to the doctor, to friends and family, for comfort or even for emergencies. So they're golden, right? But now, MobileX has tapped into the market of people that are high data users, those that would consider themselves power users on a smartphone that are, gaming online on their free time, or they do a lot of live streaming because they're content creators, they're influencers on social media. And so to drop the plan back down to 30 gigs would be detrimental in my opinion, because then a lot of them are going to look back and say, okay, they just reinstituted a limitation. One of the things that, made Visible such a competitor in this market to a degree is the fact that I hate to say it, but it is true. They are the pioneers of doing a fully unlimited plan at $25 a month. Now, could MobileX kind of fudge their $25 plan to kind of make it work out where they can keep the unlimited network access for data usage? Sure. Honestly, I would drop off the unlimited talk and text to 90 countries. I would take that out of it and make that an add-on that at $24.88 a month, you will get the unlimited data. Okay. as unpopular as this may be for some, I would also drop the 10 gigabytes of hotspot. And if you want that, then you could actually switch to a higher tier plan. I know that that's not what MobileX wants to do. They don't want to create unlimited plan tiers, like Boost Mobile has and Metro has. But the reality of it is that you have different users, and if you're wanting to bring those users to use your product, you're going to have to kind of go against the grain. They will always pioneer the personalized access plan and have that at their disposal as their main bread and butter. But you can also have what is traditionally known out there. I mean, to be quite honest, if MobileX really believed that the personalized access can completely obliterate having these packaged plans, then they would never have introduced these plans in the first place. Okay? The main goal here with MobileX is to gain subscriber counts to matter, right? You've got to have subscriber counts. You've got to have people signing up for your services. And the personalized access can only carry so much, because there are people, whether we like it or not, who just would rather deal with an unlimited plan. One price, unlimited, don't have to worry about restrictions, pay for it and go type of thing. And they'll be hard-walled to even try to convince them to change their ideology on it. So you got to have something that caters to them. The fact that MobileX even went in and switched their unlimited 30 gigabyte high-speed data plan on over to fully unlimited, that was a very, very big leap. This is the reason that I said it in previous videos about MobileX. That was a big leap. And I already knew in my head, since they did this, like, you've just opened Pandora's box if you had no intentions of keeping this plan around. Most people are going to feel like that what happened with MobileX was a bait and switch if they went completely back to the old ways. Now, if they converted the $25 plan back down to a 30 gigabyte high-speed data plan, but then introduced a $35 fully unlimited plan or a $45 unlimited plan, that would still have a negative impact on MobileX. Because again, customers are going to think it was a bait and switch. The only way that I can see this being beneficial for both MobileX and for customers is to keep the unlimited access, but to drop the extras. Okay. Now, some people may argue with me on that because, no one's going to want to lose out on something they were getting. I got that, right? The moment that Helium Mobile switched from 30 gigs of high-speed data to 28 gigs of high-speed data, while it's a difference of 2 gigabytes in data, there were a lot of people that were complaining just for the sake of complaining. So that's what I would do. That's what I would do with the unlimited plan with MobileX, is keep that unlimited. Keep the unlimited 10 gigabytes rather than 5 gigabytes, right? Because MobileX wants to be more about the customer. This is what the customers are saying. But what I would do, as just my advice to them, is to drop the 90 plus countries access, drop the Mexico and Canada access, drop the 10 gigabytes of hotspot, keeping the plan $25 unlimited. I have Metro by T-Mobile. I still have their promotional $25 unlimited plan, which doesn't come with hotspot or any additional features. It's just unlimited talk and text, unlimited data access. Deprioritize if you go over 35 gigs of data and you're in a congested area. You may experience slow speeds, but other than that, it's pretty much normal high speeds that you get. And I'm content with that. And not only myself, but a lot of people on social media talk about the Metro $25 plan, and they're content with it. They're not even thinking about not having the hotspot, not having, the Amazon Prime, not having the Google One subscription. They're fine with just being on a plain Jane, unlimited talk, text, fully unlimited data plan. So MobileX can do that here and then introduce a $35 plan that gives you the 10 gigs of hotspot and the 90 plus countries and the Mexico and Canada. I think that would be the best way to go about it for MobileX, but that's just me. What says you guys in all of this? Do let me know. Do let me know what your guys' thoughts are on all of this. If you guys feel that, that's a great way to kind of go about it. Because I think that's like probably the only thing that really MobileX can do. point, keep their customers satisfied. Now, honestly, I feel like that Mobile X is testing the waters with these two plans. That's why they run it as a promotion. They wanted to see how many people were going to bite, right? If like they had a projected growth of 50,000 new subscribers, and say with this promotion running since October, they've only gained about 20,000 subscribers, then I can see them reverting it back to the old way because it didn't work. It didn't attract new subscribers to come on over. But let's say like their projected was a 50,000 subscriber vote, and since running this promotion, they gained 50,000 or more. That could be the determining factor for them to set their unlimited plans to stay that way going forward after December 31st, when we head into the new year of January 1st, 2025. So again, there are other options out there, you know, that you can go with depending on which service provider works good for you. Like for instance, if Verizon doesn't work good in your area, then you definitely can sign up with Helium Mobile. That uses T-Mobile's network and their own Helium network, and that's like $20 a month. You can go with Boost Mobile Prepaid, $25 a month. That's AT&T network access. But the difference is that Mobile X has a fully unlimited plan, and those two that I named have a limitation to it. 28 gigs on Helium Mobile, and then Boost Mobile is 30 gigs, and then you're slowed down for the rest of your bill cycle. So weigh in your thoughts, comments, emotional outbursts in the comment section if you're watching this on replay. Share your thoughts about Mobile X before I switch on to the next topic, which we'll be talking about NTN 5G connectivity and what does that spell for all of us, and are we ready for this type of technology? We'll get into that here in a second. If you have any questions, ask them right now in the chat. I see people in the chat not really being very talkative. So how are you guys doing today? And good morning to you guys. I am enjoying my morning tea. For Mobile X, they're using Verizon. And that's what you're talking about. They're using Verizon. So recently, Mobile X has made advancements in their connection. Before they were using Verizon's network before, but they were using a third-party network access to Verizon's network, which was why it was kind of janky, the connections. I think it was like 4 or 5 months ago, Mobile X cut out the middleman. So now they deal directly with Verizon for network access, and so they're in like Flynn. And I don't know the inner workings of Mobile X on that. I do know that when it comes to technology, like mobile technology today, a lot of established companies don't like dealing with startups, and Mobile X is still, in my way, it's still classified as a startup. Okay, it's like 2 years old at this point right now. So it's got a lot of ground to cover, but as far as like network connectivity, it is Verizon's network that they're connected to. As far as the level of priority access Mobile X has, it is higher than Visible's $25 plan. I have compared Visible's $25 unlimited plan to Mobile X, and with Mobile X, you don't pay extra to access ultra wideband connectivity. So you get the ultra wideband connection, you get the mid-band 5G connection with Mobile X. On Visible $25 plan, you're on low band 5G. If you opt for the $45 plan on Visible, that's what gets you the ultra wideband connection. And how long do you have to stay with the company before your phone is unlocked? They don't believe in unlocked devices. So if you buy phones from Mobile X, they're unlocked. They're network unlocked automatically. So you don't have to wait 60 days or 120 days or a year. They're unlocked. I believe they have iPhones, I believe. Let me see here. Sorry, it's a little glitchy. Okay. Yeah, here, I'll show you guys real quick. Let me screen share this. There you go. So you can see like one of the phones they were pushing for the holidays was the Moto G Play. And as you can see, it says Mobile X unlocked because none of these phones are locked. They do have like, I mean, these are the front ones they're selling. No iPhones for me, Android all day. So here, let me, they used to have more phones than this listed. Now they only have like these 4. What happened? Okay, here we go. So they have the Moto Razr Plus 2024 model, so that's their flip phone. They have that, the Galaxy S22 Plus. Of course, you know, they have iPhones. Google Pixel 8 Pro. I don't believe they have the 9 yet. Let me move to the second page. iPhone 15 Pro. Okay, so like the top Android phone that I see that they have on their end would be the Galaxy S22 Plus, the Moto Razr Plus 2024, the Google 8 Pro, or Google Pixel 8 Pro, Samsung Galaxy S23 Fan Edition, and that's it when it comes to phones. Oh, there's probably a delay from the YouTube to restream. That's probably why. So I'm not seeing it when you've like typed it immediately. That might be why it's like that. Yeah. I know this probably is like a glitch because a lot of people that are using Mobile X are telling me that when you're on the unlimited plan, video streaming is in 480p. Now, if you're on the personalized access plan, then you can change, you know, your playback resolution. So you can change the playback to 4K or to 480p, whichever you choose. Now, I'm on the unlimited plan. I guess this is not supposed to happen for me, but it happened for me because I can switch. Like right now, Video Optimizer is on 4K Ultra HD. And I can adjust it to 1080p, 720p, 480p. Like, I'll choose 480p, and then it'll make that switch. And then videos that I play back on my phone are gonna be on 480p, and then I can switch back to 4K whenever I want to. Obviously, 4K uses a lot of data, so you have to keep that in mind. But there you have it. I'm able to do that. Spectrum, my internet service provider, wanted me to leave Verizon and go to Spectrum Mobile. Yeah, I know that those they have deals going on, right? I believe Nguyen has a deal. I forgot his service provider, if it's Spectrum or Cox Internet or what's the other one? There's another one. But anyways, he's got home internet, and then he's got his phone line of service. It gets us free for a year just for getting home internet, which is cool. You know, that works out great for him. But anyways, what is my daily driver? The Pixel 8 Pro is appealing. My daily driver device right now is my Nothing Phone 1, and I am using Helium Mobile in that phone only because the Nothing Phone 1 doesn't support Verizon 5G. And then for my smartwatch, I've switched over to the CMF Watch Pro. CMF Watch Pro, which is CMF is a sub company owned by Nothing. Right now, I am heavily getting involved into Nothing technology. Their devices is really good, but I'm gonna save that for the review video when I drop that video. Yeah, I know that, you know, Spectrum and Cox Internet, like they're really going after T-Mobile's home internet and everything like that. Now, a question that I will ask you guys is, if you could have a smartphone that can literally do everything you can do now on cell tower connections. If you had a smartphone that can connect to satellite and have the same data speeds that you're getting now, the same voice quality that you're getting during voice calls, would you want that to be the replacement to what we currently have now? And the reason that I asked that is recently T-Mobile has launched they have launched this, right? We know that they've partnered with Starlink. We know that Starlink and T-Mobile have a partnership, and they were doing it to where the iPhones could connect to satellite for emergency SMS, emergency connections when you're out in rural areas, right? If you're mountain climbing up in North Dakota, places where there's no cell towers, there's no cell service, you can connect to a satellite. But it seems like that companies are really starting to examine this option for a lot more further than just emergency connections. So T-Mobile is actually launching in beta right now, which is experience coverage beyond with T-Mobile Starlink satellite service for your business needs. T-Mobile is the first and only U.S. wireless provider to keep you connected in places never thought possible with the world's largest satellite-to-cell constellation in partnership with Starlink. Okay, this was something that I said that Boost Mobile should have taken advantage of, because Dish, the company that is a sub-company under EchoStar, they have their own satellite constellations. They have satellites orbiting Earth, and they literally could actually push this technology for Boost Mobile customers. And going beyond just building out the Boost 5G network to for a terrestrial build, they can go non-terrestrial and have sat to cell connection. And I believe that's what Boost was intentionally going to do. However, the whole merger with Dish TV and DirecTV that failed probably put a setback in their plans to actually be able to do that, because the debt that Dish has that has matured as of November 2024 is now late, I guess you can say. Or I don't know if they made a payment on it or what, but they still have that really huge loan that they must cover. This is why people think that Boost Mobile is going to be bought by AT&T or something, which I doubt. I doubt AT&T has any interest in buying Boost Mobile. They may just migrate Boost Mobile customers over to AT&T, but they're not going to want to buy Boost Mobile and run it as a prepaid. They already have Cricket Wireless. They already have other MVNOs on them. They don't need to have the Boost brand. I like the idea. I just want to be able to go off grid sometimes. Exactly, right? That's a good point, Chris. That's a very good point. And so this is where, it's a possibility that it's going to happen. Okay. Like I said, Ricky asked me this on a mobile live stream I did last week when my daughters then went on a field trip. And he was asking me how I felt about NTN. And I'm not really primarily focused on network connections to that degree. Like Sneed Mobile Tech got the ins and outs of the networks, the telco industry. Ricky does that. Carlos S Tech does that. You have Rando Geek that does that. There are a lot of good people out there that really test the networks and know the ins and outs of the networks. I'm not one of those guys, right? I'm more focused on the hardware, mobile smartphones, the plan offerings from MVNO and prepaid companies. That's my forte. But I am very interested in the telco industry and telco connections and everything like that. So when Ricky asked me about NTN and how I felt about it, before I can give like a straight answer, I wanted to know more about it. So if you don't know, NTN stands for non-terrestrial networks, right? This is sat to cell phone network connections, okay? It tells you that non-terrestrial networks are wireless communication systems that operate above Earth's surface, involving satellites at LEO, MEO, and GEO, or basically low Earth orbit, medium Earth orbit, and then geostationary orbit. High altitude performance, or HAPS, and drones. So drones are going to be involved in this. Such components are essential for realizing seamless coverage, bringing coverage even to remote areas that do not have access to traditional terrestrial networks. All right, so places where there's not any cell towers built, and you would still be able to get connections. And I believe that their idea of using a geostationary orbit satellite, and then you have, you know, a medium Earth orbit, and then a low Earth orbit. I think these things play in tandem along with the drones. So I don't know, my idea or what I'm thinking, and this is not even having read this article. I haven't read this article all the way through. I just want to know if I'm able to kind of, you know, kind of guess the idea of this. But what I'm believing is that they will have geostationary satellites that are producing the data connectivity for our smartphones, right? Then you got the mid and the low orbits, kind of like acting as like, I don't want to call it a repeater, but like a signal booster from the geostationary to them, from them to the drones is another boost, and from the drones to our phones. Now, what does this spell out for Earth? Are we going to be looking at Earth and seeing it look like San Fran, Tokyo from Big Hero 6, where there's just a lot of things, I guess you could call it pollution in the air? Like, are we not going to be able to enjoy a beautiful sunset anymore because there's a drone in the shot? Like, these are things that we have to think of. At least I think of. Now, it kind of gives an idea. Here is kind of like what they're showing here. So you got geostationary, you got medium Earth orbit satellites, you got low Earth orbit satellites, and they are, looks like they're beaming down to an NTN backhaul. And there is terrestrial network components, so there's gonna have to be. So they're gonna have some form of tower, according to this diagram here. So that's interesting. So I guess I'm looking at this and I'm like, are they wanting to get rid of fiber connection and just do a satellite connection to the towers, and the towers disperse that signal, whether, you know, it's you know, like a small cell site or one of those large cell sites, right? This will be interesting. This will absolutely be interesting. Okay, I guess I'm getting how this is happening. Hang on. I'm learning it through that. I'm learning it through the diagram here of how it's feeding out. Because I do see a low Earth orbit satellite is supposed to connect directly to a device. If you're not seeing it, it's located right here. Satellite straight to device, satellite to drone, satellite to, looks like a vehicle antenna. So what, we're gonna have moving vehicles like Waymo that have antennas that send out the signal? Like, this is crazy, because you also have satellite directly. This looks like a boat. So I guess ships overseas will have some way of spreading that signal. So this is going far beyond just being out in the woods in the middle of nowhere and still having network connectivity. I guess this is an idea of how to keep you covered no matter where you are in the world, which means that if you're an exhibitionist that's sailboating around the world, like it's a one-man cruise sailboat and you're gonna sail the entire globe, you will have a phone service to get emergency help if you run into rough seas. I mean, most people have charted the oceans on Earth, so you should know where like the calmer waters are. I'll tell you right now, if you're a person who likes to, you know, sail around the world, and you're gonna do a one-man sailboat, you know, through the point between South America and Antarctica, those seas are rough and dangerous. The waves there are always going to destroy any boat that goes out there, except for like giant freighters, and even the giant freighters sink there. Makes me wonder, like, if they created airlock waterproof containers on those boats and they sank, you know how much money you would make if you were brave enough to take a submarine down there and recover those containers and bring them back to shore and pop them open? There's like thousands of dollars of product that go down there from a sinking ship, and that's only because the seas are rough. But anyways, that's beside the point. So it looks like even like helicopters and airplanes are gonna be fed a signal to give them connection. So this is just not only smartphones, this is IoTs, right? This is smart vehicles, this is helicopters, this is airplanes. They're all going to be able to connect to the satellite. They're all going to be able to get internet service, which is great. Is that why all of those drones are flying around? That could possibly be. I know, like on the news, people were talking about they've been seeing drones in the air. Some people are assuming it's spy drones from China or something like that. Like, we don't really know, but this could be it. This could be the reason why we're seeing drones, is because they're probably beta testing this. I mean, T-Mobile is already launching it in beta right now. So if you are a T-Mobile customer, you can literally register to be a beta tester and beta test this. And like it says here, in areas without traditional wireless service, your T-Mobile for Business phone connects to Starlink satellites. Starlink direct-to-cell technology acts like a cell phone tower in space, integrating with T-Mobile's network almost anywhere you can see the sky. Coming soon, you'll be able to send and receive satellite-powered text messages, with plans to pursue voice and data coverage next. So, like, they're not even there yet to get 5G speeds, but this is probably something that they are testing, and why you're seeing drones hovering around out there, which is crazy because T-Mobile is not the only one, to be honest with everybody. I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago, I had made mention that Apple was interested in having its own phone service for customers. This was on the back of the heels when Project Fi was like no longer in a project state. They had converted their name to Google Fi because now they were officially a MVNO service provider for customers. And so, you know, it was brought to the attention of Apple, and Apple had made mention of this in various different interviews, you know, with like The Verge and all them. And they made mention of possibly one day, having phone service directly through Apple. So like if you walk into an Apple store, you could buy a brand new iPhone, and then you could choose to activate it on Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, or you can get a native plan from Apple. But Apple's way of wanting their devices to connect was satellite, which is why it didn't surprise me that when T-Mobile and Elon had talked about their partnership for Starlink to be partnered with T-Mobile for non-terrestrial data access and phone service, you know, iPhones were one of the first ones that you would be able to do an SOS text message out in rural areas. If you want to see how that works, go to Carlos S Tech on YouTube and find his video where he tests this out. And you guys will actually find that to be pretty interesting. What is the best service? Is it Helium because it can be free? So best service provider right now for the Verizon side, I would go with Mobile X, only because that they have a flexibility to change things, and their CEO is not a one-track minded person, okay? He has multiple ideas, so he's forever changing. And to have a successful business, a successful government, you have to be able to change, right? So Mobile X, I go for the Verizon side. For the T-Mobile side, I go Helium. Helium's got it, got it really good. With not only just a connection to T-Mobile network, but also for those who deploy the Helium hotspots. When you connect to them, it's fully unlimited. And there are more and more cities that's deploying these hotspots because people are making passive income, which, Chad, as you said, you can make your phone service free. You can also make passive income with deploying the indoor and outdoor hotspots if you're into that. It's also the fact that you earn crypto as you're using the service too, thus making it free because you earn enough crypto, you pay your bill a month in advance. You don't got to worry about paying a phone bill. For the AT&T side, I am going to give it to Boost Mobile. Boost Mobile's connection to the AT&T network at $25 a month for 30 gigs of data is not bad at all whatsoever. And you can, change your plan around and get more data, or you can add the add-ons to give you like 10 more gigs of data. So instead of paying $50 for 40 gigs, you can pay $35 for 40 gigs. You're golden. So those are my top 3 picks when it comes to mobile service providers. Now, the one that I truly enjoy the most is going to be Mobile X. It handles everywhere that I go, and even on LTE, it's really good. And followed up by that is Helium Mobile. T-Mobile has always been good in my area because before T-Mobile and Sprint merged, this was officially a Sprint market. Sprint was really good here in Phoenix, Arizona. So I heard Apple might be coming out with a flip phone around the time that the iPhone 17 comes out. It's a strong possibility. I mean, that's one of the setbacks they are having as far as, gaining new customers, new buyers, is that they don't have any type of flexible technology device, right? So, I do know that they intend to release the first ever Air iPhone, so the iPhone 17 Air. What makes that unique and super expensive, I don't know. I just know it is super expensive. I believe it will cost more than the Pro model, the iPhone 17 Pro. It will cost more than that. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Does a 5 gig hotspot take away from the 28 gigs? What do you mean? The 5 gigabytes of hotspot that they offer? I've used hotspot a few times, I'll be honest with you, and my data didn't go down. Like the 28 gigs of data did not go down when I used it. So I believe that the 5 gigs of hotspot is separated away from your actual data allotment usage on your device. Bendgate. Oh my god. The iPhone 6. The iPhone 6. I remember that. I guess you could say that's Apple's first foldable. It was so easy to fold. You stuck it in your back pocket and sat on it. It folded. And it folded right where the silent switch was. Yeah. Anyways, closing out this subject with the non-terrestrial 5G. Honestly, I think it's a good move because it will provide connection wherever you are in the world, and that's one of the things that we need. You think about it like this: if you had satellite, connection for 5G data access, you wouldn't have dead spots, dead zones. Okay, you might have some signal interference, which would cause like low data connection or, higher latency to a degree, maybe but nothing where you wouldn't be able to do what you need to do on your device, whether send an email, send an iMessage or an RCS message or a chat. You should be able to do those things. And so I honestly think that yes, we are ready. We are ready to begin advancing into NTN and going there. And honestly, we'll see if that's what 6G is going to be, right? Yes, I know we're like kind of towards the midway of 5G production across the world, right? Other countries have 5G produced, enabled. Other countries are catching up with their infrastructure and build 5G. Some are doing it differently. Some are relying on certain bands that we're not using in the US, and I'm hearing that people are getting better speeds in other countries when it comes to 5G. No, nevertheless, I feel like that NTN will be 6G, if that makes any sense. That would be our 6th generation of the telecom industry and its infrastructure. Because that's all what 3G, 4G, 5G, that's really what they stand for. 1G, first generation, 2G, second generation, 3G, third generation, and you guys get the point, and so on and so on. So I would definitely say that this would be a good move, and I don't believe that it is fully ready at this point, no, but I do believe now is the time to begin those advances, because that opens up doorways for other technologies to advance, like AI. AI could definitely advance with this type of connectivity to a mobile device, being that you can get a faster response from your AI assistant on your device. Gaming, right? Online gaming can be at its best, right? Could you imagine future PlayStations and Xboxes having a much stronger antenna built into them, or even a port to add on a much stronger antenna for a direct to SAT connection for online gaming, right? If the latency is low enough to be able to online game, you should have no problems playing one of the most network demanding games at a high frame rate, right? Because you would have the latency to cover, 160 hertz refresh or any of that. I think we're ready to start pushing that boundary for NTN, honestly. But that's just my thoughts and opinions. I got like 7 minutes left in the podcast before I got to bounce out of here. So the ground is open for any other questions you guys may have. Questions, comments, concerns, or emotional outbursts. For those who want to know, did Boost Mobile shut off my line? Yes, they did. And all 4 of my lines on Boost Mobile have been successfully ported over to Mobile X. And I can tell you guys right now, the port process was super easy. Oh my God, I had no real issues with it. I think my youngest daughter's phone line is the one that took the longest to port over for some reason. Her line took 2 hours before it was ready. The other 3 lines, they ported over within 45 minutes, which was cool because they kept their Boost Mobile SIM card in their phone. The moment that they no longer had data connection, which I told them, take it off Wi-Fi, use regular data. That's going to tell you when your phone line had switched over to Mobile X. And so my wife's phone line, she had to switch a SIM card at work because her line ported over while she was at work. She popped a new SIM in. She's superly happy with it. My oldest daughter, her line switched over flawlessly. She's really happy with it. My youngest son switched over. He's happy. I see with them, because I don't want them on a full unlimited data plan, because I want them to kind of be off their phones at times. They are currently on the 10 gigabyte plan. So they got 10 gigabytes of high-speed data. At home, they're connected to the T-Mobile Home Internet Gateway, so they use Wi-Fi at home. So 10 gigs should last them a whole month. And it has, because right now, I think my oldest daughter's data use is 0.6. So it's not even a gigabyte yet. My youngest daughter uses a lot more data, so she's sitting at 1.2 gigabytes used already. And my youngest son is sitting at like 1 gig usage. So they're good. So for their 3 lines, my phone line and my wife's line, we are paying an amount of $97 and some odd change, that's taxes included, for 5 lines of service. That's not bad. What's the next phone review? I'm going to deep dive more into the Nothing Phone 1 and give like my full-on review of this phone. I am currently looking around my city for someone that has the Nothing 2A or the CMF phone by Nothing. I'm really getting heavy into Nothing technology, Nothing OS. I've been doing a lot of research on them. No, it doesn't mean that I hate Google Pixels. I still have my Pixel 8a. I still use the iPhone 12. It's right here. I'm just having a great time with the Nothing phone. And honestly, I love the fact that this phone is dual SIM. But I'll show you guys right now. It's not physical SIM, eSIM.
You're enjoying your iPhone 12 and finding.
Yes, Gemini just like woke up, started talking about the iPhone and everything. But anyways, while this phone is shutting down, I can pull the SIM out safely. So back here, you can see that's the bottom SIM tray for SIM number 2, and then there's SIM number 1 right there. So you can have 2 physical SIMs in the Nothing Phone 1, which I like that because I didn't have to switch any of my phone lines to eSIM. And yeah, it works out great. Yeah, I heard that the Nothing earbuds are outstanding, and like the actual Nothing earbuds, not the CMF buds. Well, the CMF buds I heard are really good too. There's like a lot of reasons I guess I'm getting into it. Nothing is bringing me an experience that I used to remember back in 2010, 11, and 12, when manufacturers were being fun and creative with their phones, which is something that's sorely lacking today, right? To be quite honest with you guys, my next phone that I want to grab when I can find one is the CMF Phone 1. Yes, it's got the different back plates you can change off of it. You got accessories you can, bolt onto the phone. It's modular in a way that the back housing component is modular, but it doesn't like, it's not like you could change like, the processor chip, the amount of RAM it has. That would be fucking amazing if Carl Pei looked into perfecting modularity on a smartphone like Google was trying to do with Project Ara and LG attempted to do with their removable battery, slap on a camera module to it, or the Moto Z, which had the different modules that can connect to the back of it. I think Carl Pei has the fundamental brain capacity to solve the modular smartphone, something that I would really love to see before I die. Okay, I am going to be turning 43 in 2025, so I know that I'm already over the hill going down. It's all downhill for me. I would love to see a modular phone where, you don't have a lot of money. So let's say, you buy the nothing phone and it's got a mid-range chip. It's got, a 4,000 milliamp hour battery. It's got, the Adreno, 306 GPU. And say you got a little bit more money. So you could just pop this off, power off the device, disconnect the battery, take the battery off so you don't short out the board, and then swap out the processor chip, swap out the GPU and the RAM, put everything back together. I don't mind connecting it to a PC so it can optimize the phone with the new components in it. Being able to then put in like a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, put in, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and now you just converted your phone from a mid-range to a flagship. And you would make, business-wise, you would make more money because you could sell the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, say Qualcomm sells it to nothing at, $80 a chip. So then nothing could sell the chip back out with its compatible connections to the nothing phone and sell it at $100, right? So their margin is $20. That's what they're profiting off of it, which would be great because swapping out the processor chip, the GPU, the amount of RAM, swapping out the battery, switching a 4,000, buying a 5,000 milliamp for the nothing phone, and then popping that in there, optimizing it so that the device knows it's got 5,000 milliamps of battery capacity and not 4. And you could swap out your camera, right? This is something that I thought the CMF Phone 1 was able to do because the way that it looks, I thought you could switch your camera. And I was like, damn, if you could switch your camera, that's fucking badass. Because you can start off with just a little bit of money that you have. And as you get more money, as you're working and you're saving up, you could potentially convert your phone to a badass flagship and even create the first ultra flagship device, right? Imagine you switch from a 16 megapixel main shooter and you pop in a 106 megapixel wide angle shooter with a 48 megapixel ultra wide. Oh my God, that would be so badass. It'd be badass if you can switch your speaker driver, right? You can switch the speaker drivers that's inside and get better quality sound. Like that's what Google's vision was for Project Ara. They killed the project, obviously. I think the furthest that the big G company got to was they were at Google I/O, I think 2014 or 2013. And they brought out the Project Ara phone they were working on, and they took a picture of everyone in attendance. And they showed that the camera module was working. Of course, there was no software. There wasn't any real software loaded onto the device other than it's vanilla-based Android. And we're not even talking Android that you find on the Pixel. We're talking like a very stripped down, something that you would use on the Android Studios software to produce and build apps for Android. Very, very stripped down. Basically able to recognize photography, and that was it. It couldn't open any other apps. It couldn't, do anything else. So, it was fucking cool because it was like they showed like in a glass case all the different modulars that you can just, and it was like a Lego plug and play type of thing. So the back of the phone looked like a bunch of Lego blocks. And man, oh man, was it crazy as hell. But yeah, that would be cool, right? Listen to the customers. Send old boy a message, and I bet you'll get a response. Yeah, maybe I'll DM Carl Pei, and I would tell him like, hey man, has your engineer team even thought of doing modular phones? You know, the reason, and like I know Carl Pay, you know, he really does listen to the crowd. He's If you go to the Nothing YouTube channel, he even reviews like the iPhones. He reviews other Android devices and gives his thoughts compared to the Nothing phone. And I appreciate and I find it refreshing that he doesn't blow smoke up of everyone's ass and say, "Oh yeah, the iPhone, I hate it. The Nothing phone is so much better." Like he doesn't. Like he will tell you if the iPhone has something better that the Nothing phone doesn't have. He'll tell you in a review. That's cool. That's so cool of a CEO to be that transparent with people. And so yeah, maybe I should message him, and maybe he already has it in mind. He's just not saying nothing about it because, you know, one of the things in the tech world is you want to be first to the finish line. If he wants to start talking about maybe I'll take a crack at modular phones, then, you know, maybe Motorola might be like, "Oh, we were doing that. Let's go back to that." And then, you know, they may be first to the finish line. Getting there first matters, right? Getting there first matters because that's how we skew these manufacturers, right? When Apple comes up with a feature, people are like, "Welcome to 2015. Android had it back then." And it's like, so getting first to the finish line matters, honestly. You should review the Moto G Power 5G 2024. I mean, if I find one for sale at a decent price, I'll review it. Like I've been open with everybody. A lot of the phones I review are secondhand phones. Oh, speaking of secondhand phones, I'm gonna show you guys this real quick. I'm not gonna review them. I'm not gonna do anything on them. I'm just gonna show you guys for nostalgic purposes. Yesterday, I went through all my stuff in storage and I found these. I put them in a bag, so I wouldn't drop them. So anyways, first off, I found my old DS, and it's still in perfect condition. It still charges, it still runs, it still works. Like the displays and everything are still good. So, and then where's the other one at? There it is. And then my 3DS, I still have it. Everything still works on it. I just need to clean off my fingerprint smudges. And my game is still in there, but I am going to clean these up later on today and get them fully charged. So here's one for you guys. Now the display is damaged, but the LG Stylo 2, like, oh my god, I still have it. And it's got the stylus. It's got the stylus. I don't think Boost Mobile will activate these phones anymore. So the next one I have is the LG Volt 2, right? Curved back, flat screen, volume rocker, power button. It'd be badass if this was a fingerprint sensor, honestly. This is one of my favorite phones that ever came out, and it came out on Boost Mobile. I believe it came out on Virgin Mobile too as well. But I really like this phone. Like, it's so comfortable to hold in the hand. Now imagine if they didn't have those bezels and it was all screen, like by today's standards, you know. So I still have that phone. I got this weird ZTE phone from Q-Link back when I was testing Q-Link's services. So that's there. Let's see. I have the original LG Volt, and I believe this has a custom ROM on it still. I haven't tried to power it and turn it on, but yeah, this phone, badass battery life on it. Just because the way that the display was and everything, you can get 3 days battery on this phone. And that's actually pretty awesome. Speaking of Bendgate, oh no, this is the iPhone 6S. The screen is cracked, but yeah, here's the iPhone 6S. I haven't tried to charge it or anything like that. Maybe I should. What else do I have here? Oh, the iPhone SE. It's no longer working. The screen came off, and I think it got liquid damage on the inside when my daughter was using it, so it doesn't work anymore. Let's see. I have the LG X Charge for Boost Mobile. I still have it. I might just charge all these phones up and maybe do like an individual kind of like throwback video to them. The Samsung Galaxy J3 2016 model. Got that right here. This still turns on. And then lastly, a phone from Sharp that was their first attempt at a near all-screen display, the Sharp Aquos Crystal. This phone is rooted, but I've never seen anyone build a custom ROM for it, so I can't flash a custom ROM onto it. But this phone is rooted. I know that much for a fact because I rooted it. I posted a video showing that it could be rooted. There's just no custom ROMs for it, but yeah, Sharp Aquos Crystal. Man, oh man, this phone is crazy. Camera sucks on it though. That selfie camera was just horrible. Very, very horrible. Anyways, that's just my gift to you guys for, you know, staying on this live stream all the way to the end. You know what I mean? You guys have like better things to do than hang out with me. So for you guys just being here, I really appreciate that. I'm gonna get those things cleaned up later on. I wish I had all my old phones. Too many crazy X. Oh, wow. Stylus, like you mean the Moto G Stylus 5G 2024? I have that phone. Let me bring out my box of phones here. Adidas. Try not to hit the mic. Yeah. I have the Moto G Stylus 5G 2024. Still has, you know, the pen. Probably one of the best styluses on a mid-range device. Oh yeah, I have it. But all right, everybody, I think I've held you up for quite a bit. Thank you, everybody that came in and hung out. For those who smashed the like button, thank you guys so much for doing so. I really appreciate it. And like I said, if you want to try out Helium Mobile, you get your first month free. Use my promo code. Just scan that QR code there. It'll take you to the sign up page. And when you are about to check out, just type in my promo code. Do not be alarmed. There will be a $25 hold on your payment method just to make sure your payment method works. They release that hold after a couple of hours, so you're not going to be charged the $25 for your first month. They give that back to you. So they just do that to stop people from, you know, basically gaming the system and getting like unlimited phone, like getting phone service for free unlimitedly by using my promo code over and over again. So yeah, awesome. Appreciate that. I appreciate that, chat. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. I appreciate it. Yeah, so I really appreciate that. And I think later on this week, I'm actually going to order my hoodie. That's my t-shirt. It's not the best design shirt, but it does rep out for Team Nexus and Team Pixel. So if you are a Team Nexus, Team Pixel fan, you can represent with this shirt. I also got hoodies and long sleeves for this design. I am actually working with someone right now who's designing graphics for me so I can create my own merch. That's coming in 2025, so be expecting those. You guys can check out the store. It's on the channel. But I appreciate you guys for being here. I love you guys very much. Be cool, be safe. Man, Halloween is right around Halloween. Oh my God, I love Halloween too, but Christmas is right around the corner. And so I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas. If you're traveling across states, be safe, be careful, especially if you're going through cold weather, blizzards, snowstorms, stuff like that. Please be very careful. You know what I mean? Get back home safe. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Love you guys very much. As always, aloha. Mele kalikimaka. I'll talk to y'all. See you on the next one, especially with the videos dropping later on this week. Peace.